in American films like the Black Panther and the Incredibles, we see anti-heroes as well as heroes. What's your perspective on that?
The way I view these two films, and I wanted to talk about these two particular films, was, of course, the first one was in The Incredibles, part one, and then later on when this film Black Panther came out. Now, in The Incredibles, I felt that the anti-heroes were portrayed as heroes. The Incredibles were the heroes. And the villain, that small, geeky boy who is humiliated or shunned by this naturally superior, powerful, incredible guy who's a hero, he rejects this little kid who's obsessed with him. And this kid becomes so angry that he then learns all the science and technology and creates this massive enterprise which is full of magical inventions and weaponry and science and wonder. But he's the villain in the film. So those who are naturally, genetically born superior, the woman who can extend her arms to unlimited lengths, and the man who can lift mountains, and the child who can run the speed of light, and the girl who can create these force fields around, these genetically modified, abnormal, non-human beings are idealized as heroes, and they are the good guys. Whereas the ordinary human being who works hard, who learns and creates this massive, magical, invention-based enterprise is described as and portrayed as a villain. Now, I didn't like that. So while I was looking at it and enjoying that film, and I watched that many times, but the message that I got from that was actually the heroes weren't the heroes. The real hero, who was a geeky boy who didn't have any friends, was obsessed with this abnormally genetically programmed hero, and this hero rejects him, he gets angry. Okay, the motives may not be entirely great, but the point is that an ordinary human being achieving all that the boy achieved, that is undermined as evil. And somebody who's genetically superior comes out superior. To me, it was more like, if I can say, more of a eugenic or a racist, genetically superior versus the genetically inferior. That those who are genetically superior will always be superior, and they are good. Now, coming to the other film, the Black Panther. Was Black Panther the hero? I personally don't think so. I think it was the villain. Because he's selfish, like his father. He keeps everything in Wakanda, hides everything, is oblivious to and ignorant of, and deliberately rejecting of the awareness of persecution, racism, mass murder, and genocide of black people elsewhere. But because he is happy, he is there. And in one of the dialogues, he actually says exactly what the racists say when talking of asylum seekers and migration. He says, oh, migration and refugees they create their own social problems. And the hall, which was probably, half racist, shouted out laughing. The hero was actually the villain in Black Panther, who doesn't have any superior herbs and physical attributes that he gets the way Black Panther gets from that little lotus flower that he is given. And this guy learns all this fighting and physical prowess and effort through his own hard work, through his own effort. He does not get it given by these magical creatures and trainers in Wakanda. He does it in the streets and in the armed forces and so on. And he is the one who actually talks of a universal emancipation for his race. So they should be helped. Whereas this guy, the so-called hero, wants status quo. Let the exploited be exploited. Let the discriminated be discriminated. And at the end, the token, what is the token that he gives? He opens up a school or a college in the United States of America, in New York. The guy's African. He lives in Africa. He's the beneficiary of African minerals. And he opens up a school in the US. So I think that this was an extremely right-wing movie, and I think it actually gave out the right-wing, quasi-racist, anti-migrant and maintenance of status quo messages. It was not to my mind, an extremely negative film.